onto Enterprise, which is meant to be the future main street of the downtown Markham, and it will have office space above it. So it is a multi-use facility that has more than just event-related programming in it. And one of the other key features of this building and the nature of these buildings is they're entered at many points. There isn't one main entrance for the building, but we certainly have focused the design of the exterior of the building and the interior to what is contemplated to be a future public plaza for major outdoor events, and that's in this location here. As I mentioned, this is more of a retail frontage on this side, but there is an entrance as well for event-related activities along this frontage. This frontage here, which is on the East Valley Drive facing the tributary, again, it's not a throwaway. It's something where there is a major entrance to the arena on this side. And it's, so there really are three major fronts here. There's no back door facing any public streets on this facility. The south side of the facility has loading on it. This will be screened from this roadway, the frontage roadway along here, so that you won't see into the loading area. And the plaza itself wraps around that, above that. So and that faces the 407. This is a plan of what we call the event level, which is the lowest level of the facility, basically at the main floor, ice level or performance level of the facility. And as you can see, there's the loading. This plan is actually turned the other way. I hope it's not confusing. Enterprise Avenue is here now. The 407 is on this side, and this is the main entry facing the future public square, and this is facing the tributary. So there are entrances all the way around the building, some of them at this lower level, but because of the way the grade works on the site where the street is higher here at Enterprise and then slopes down towards the 407, we have some parking that is entered off this East Valley Drive and then down and sits down below the street, below the plaza level above that along Enterprise Boulevard. There's a VIP entrance here. Major loading entrances down near the 407, down a short ramp, and then into a covered area where we have 7 loading docks provided, so that there is a really quick turnover for shows and events. Unlike some of the other facilities that have been built recently in Toronto, where they're very tight for space, they don't have the ability to provide that kind of loading. This will be a very efficient way of dealing with the changeover in shows and be very attractive to all kinds of shows because of the ability to get in and get out quickly and set up in a very efficient manner. Other facilities at this level really relate to the internal functioning of this facility with green rooms, change rooms, star dressing rooms over in this location, dressing rooms for sporting events over here, a restaurant lounge on this side, and back of house and operations type facilities over here. The main plaza level, so basically the grade level plan of this facility, again shows about 12,000 square feet of retail coming onto Enterprise Boulevard over here. The main plaza entrance here into a large 3-story concourse area, which will have some of the showcase element for museum and display within it. The main entrance here, and you're able to actually walk all the way around the facility at this 185 level or Main Street level, so that you can actually travel around it. The plaza spaces and the outdoor spaces are just as important as what we're planning inside here, and there's a real focus on developing in detail now as we're getting into more detail on this site plan, or we will be with Markham, in terms of how this gets programmed, and certainly benches, bike parking, special lighting features, outdoor event opportunity space, and basically a really strong, rich urban context is contemplated to be created around the arena and all the public plaza areas. So this is a view from Enterprise Avenue looking west that shows, as I mentioned, the retail space at grade with the 3 stories of office above. A large display element here which contains the stair towers and elevators in one quadrant of the arena, so at nighttime especially you'll be able to see people up and traveling up and down and going to the event. So it created a lot of excitement and animation on the exterior of the building. This is a building section. I won't go into this in too much detail other than to say again, the goal here is to step down the massing of the volume of this building, which is about 110 feet high, down to, along Enterprise Boulevard, down to a 60-foot high frontage here with the office space and retail in it. This is the south side with the plaza, which is a larger scale statement towards the 407 with obviously great signage opportunities and great exposure opportunities to everybody who passes by Markham. This is an interior view of one configuration of the seating bowl. I won't go into too much detail on this, but basically it's been set up as a horseshoe type configuration to allow for an end stage configuration with the maximum amount of seating viewing of that. And the goal there is that we know that this is going to be used greatly for concerts and performances of every nature, and so it has to be very flexible. And there's a whole curtaining system that's developed to allow this to go and be comfortable from 5,000 seats to 20,000 seats. These are other plans that have been developed, and again, I won't go through these in detail, but basically it runs through from upper concourse plans to lower suite levels to the upper bowl plan. One thing I will say is some of the development in spectator facilities recently has focused more on having more public space for people, places for people to get together, circulate around so that you don't have to stay in your seat and you can still see what's going on. So on the upper bowl, we do have a wraparound walkway with amenity space at that upper level that looks down through the whole bowl, and the people can actually circulate around that and be social, but at the same time have a view of what's going on. We have a whole set of guidelines that we've been working towards as far as flap guidelines go and LEED guidelines for this facility. And I'd be happy to answer any more specific questions about those. But I think this is something that we're working through with the municipality to make sure that we have the latest and greatest in terms of energy efficient systems within the building, lighting systems, water recovery systems, bike racks, low flow plumbing fixtures, all those things that go to make a leading LEED facility. Sorry?
What is LEED?
LEED is the standard that's been set. The acronym LEED. You're going to try and embarrass me now. You are embarrassing me. It stands for. Help me out.
Leadership, energy, and environment.
Sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry.
Answer the question. Measures Deputy Mayor sustainability measures, leadership and energy efficient and environmental design.
Uses less water and less energy.
I'm so used to using the acronym, I've forgotten what the actual long form is. But obviously the goal here is, and we've designed and gotten accreditation for many of these buildings. So certainly.
Oh, I know. I thought.
Yeah. Well, you probably knew what it was, but you wanted. Okay, then here's a view of the facility from the south plaza, looking towards the building that shows the upper portion of it, which is programmable LED lighting that can be programmed for various events, and exterior glazing and backlit panels that create a whole strong iconic statement, especially looking at this building from Highway 407. And there's an aerial view again of the massing of the facility looking towards the southwest. So that concludes my presentation.